Welcome to the Nameless Voices podcast. This is episode number 28 and it is the first episode of year 2020 patch number 3. My name is Nanashi, I'll be your host for the evening, and I apologize in advance for whatever this show's gonna be. Joining me tonight is a menagerie of personalities. He is the Yugi memer himself, Connor Lockhart.
You know, I've seen people use the term YT guy on Twitter as an insult. I mean, yeah, I'm not a big fan of YouTube guys, but you don't need to use them like a slur.
He brings the Unga Bunga to gaming. He is KennyTheCaveman.
The only thing that stops me from coming here is COVID and MILFs. Guess which one stopped me last time?
Yes.
Yes.
We have our fellow furry Yugi-tuber, Mr.Orichalcos.
Default dances on the YouTube grave of low-tier god's career.
He is the thing that goes bumping tonight. It's Raven.
Hello. I'm here. I'm back after how long now?
Maybe 2 months. Who knows?
Yeah, you were definitely in one not too long ago.
Yeah, but I had to leave early before the actual show started.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah. Well, continuing down the line.
Anyway, it's at least great to be back.
It's good to have
Welcome
you
back.
We have our token salad player, Reborn.
Now with 20% more furry noblemen.
Okay.
Understandable.
He is the god of winter, Tomy.
What's up, bitches? Want 15 inches of snow while you get 15 inches in your mom?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, boy.
He is every Yu-Gi-Oh player's worst nightmare by name, Tim Brick.
My ability to brick is bricking my own voice today, maybe.
Little bit, but not too bad. And he is here in all of his protogenic glory. It's Zivuth.
I'm your local protogen living in your world.
Oh lord.
Okay.
Oh no, someone get him out. There's asbestos in the walls.
Alright, so first things first, how's everyone doing today?
I'd be okay.
You know, pretty happy I got off work early today and was able to enjoy the peace and tranquility of the morning, and also have my first stream back in months. So
I'm good about eating a fat ass ham sandwich, some edibles.
Hold
What
on.
can I say? I'm gaming today.
Hold on. We got Dawn joining.
Yeah, hi.
A bit of
hey!
yin.
You made it at the last minute.
A little late, but yeah. Wait, last second
fading.
I thought it started. Huh?
Yeah, we literally just started 5 minutes ago.
Um,
We were just getting through the introductions.
Yeah, it's me.
How do you like that profile pic image I got for you?
What? Wait, what one again?
The one you're using right now.
Oh, I love it. It's never I'm never changing it.
It looks like the PS1 Hagrid. You know what I mean?
It's the Cali
Oh,
effect
no, I
in
do.
Farfa after they've done the fusion dance.
Oh
It was something cursed that I stumbled.
it's amazing.
Looks like we get a full house tonight.
then we watch Full House after this podcast, everybody.
Oh god, no, I can never watch that show again.
We activate the trap card full house
Oh,
after we
no.
set the conditions.
Okay,
not?
so got a few things to talk about here. Let's get started. First things first. Did everyone have a good Christmas?
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Yes.
I had fun.
I just got clothes, and that's it, and that's good for me.
I got a few clothes too, but I
I've-
did get a Chaos Duel disc.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Yes,
I know, right?
Ori over
Hold
here
on,
like
let me-
Thanos trying to gather the sacred items.
The Millennium items. Hold on, let me post a picture of the beauty.
He has
Well, I got. Go ahead.
he has the
Find
dual
it
disc,
anyway.
he has the raw plushie, now he just needs the otter fursuit, and the prophecy will be fulfilled.
Oh,
Yep.
dear God.
Oh
let me just say this
lord.
fast.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this fast. My mom got me clothes, and I bought myself a playset of Raigeki from the Charmer deck and a Creepo mat. And then I went out and dropped $80 to finish the Dark World deck as of a week ago.
Eat.
Nice.
I just got some
And also
money.
over Christmas, I was
got
able to get
clothing.
myself and complete a new Digimon deck in the form of Jesmon. And
Nice.
it's dummy fun. I just yearn for the day where I can actually attend a Digimon locals.
And on the subject of holidays, how about New Year's? Did we all have fun on that?
No,
Yeah.
no, I didn't.
That's pretty
I
alright.
did not have fun.
Yes.
I did not have fun.
Christmas and New Year's were just regular old days for me.
Same.
No, fucking.
Had to work for
I was
both.
at my job.
But most important,
Yeah,
it
there we
was
go.
family time again after 2 years of lockdowns.
That's
New
No,
Year's-
mine
true.
was terrible.
New Year's Eve
Christmas,
wasn't.
Christmas
Fucking
was
8 hours straight of work. No
Okay,
break.
so New Year's
Christmas
Eve was
was.
amazing. God damn it! New Year's Eve was
Yes,
amazing.
sorry. Go ahead.
New Year's Eve was amazing for me. New Year's Day, I just lost my shit. Someone pissed me off in the first of the year, and all my neighbors heard with me cussing and bitch this and bitch that. I go to make some food. Milk ends up spoiled. Let's just say if my friend was right in front of me, he would have been in a diabetic coma.
Okay.
That is the angry of
I
gods.
bet I was the only sober person here on this server.
Well,
Oh,
not
no,
true. I was
I-
completely
I-
sober too.
I don't even drink, to
work
be
8
honest.
hours
It's
straight.
it's overall an acquired taste.
What's drinking?
Exactly.
Well, you see, when you inhale the
What's shooting
alcoholic
money into the
beverage,
sky?
Gosh.
I guess that could also work.
I got 3 Dark World structure decks, clothing. I got the whole FNAF book series and money
Neat.
and bubblegum.
Always
I
fun.
Oh.
got for Christmas a lot money, sweets, and I bought myself some games on Steam.
Nice.
Fading over here getting free of the Dark World structure decks for Christmas, and I ended up getting free of the Crystal Beast structure decks.
Nice.
Amazing.
Fucking again, New Year's are because for some reason our sort manager really wants to beat our other sorts. Made us go 8 hours straight just so we can hit 100,000 packages. And that was bullshit because we could have ended like 4 in the morning. And we got time and a half, and we went 8 hours straight of work where we were all like, why aren't we done yet? By hour 4. Because we're like, this is not usually I know we have a full lot, but leave it for the day sort. Fuck them. No, they worked us hard. And then Christmas, just family, Christmas dinner. Had work because it was still the post peak season, but we were still coming in at 11:30. My job at night, so I just was like, cool, let's eat and go back to sleep for a couple hours, make some money, and get MILFs at my job. I'm joking.
I mean,
Half
I would
joking.
hope so.
Half joking. There are some fake women at my job.
Cakehorn dog. Cakehorn dog. Nine tails, oh my gosh.
Oh, what is he up to?
Okay.
sex,
already
apparently.
posted in the
Cooking.
Discord chat.
What is he up to? Like, he just came out of nowhere. In. Is he listening to the Twitch stream?
I would assume so. We're live streaming on YouTube and Twitch now.
At the same time.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Well, RIP, we got most
Yeah.
likely cancelled then.
Wait, who is?
The show, dude. We're live streaming on YouTube and Twitch now.
So we can get canceled on both platforms at the same time. A world record.
That'd be an achievement. Not even gonna lie.
My achievement so far in life is being banned from like 17 Discords, but that's not really an achievement.
Oh dear lord.
My account is still clean from
Oh
bans
shit, we
and any
actually
warnings.
Yeah. I'm actually gonna see which one does better. If we do about the same either way, I'm gonna keep streaming them both. But if we end up just pretty much going straight up YouTube doing better, I might just switch there. Oh, for God's sake! It's a meme war now.
Yep, that sounds about right. Par for the course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I
while
just
this
posted-
God damn it!
while this
I just
degeneracy
posted-
is going on.
Once Grand starts, he doesn't stop.
Oh boy. While this degeneracy is occurring in the background, let's just try and keep talking topics. Oh dear lord.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just posted
Yeah,
the
let's just
bean
continue.
popsicle Gordon
If
Ramsay
need be, we
image.
can just put the chat on slow mode.
It might not be a bad idea, but in the meantime, I got a couple of random things to talk about real quick.
Sure thing.
First off, did you hear about how Markiplier crashed OnlyFans?
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
I
Not
heard about
surprising, to
him.
be honest.
I heard about him making an OnlyFans account. I didn't know he
Expected
crashed
him
it.
to.
Okay,
I
so
expected
here's the
him
deal.
to.
He started an OnlyFans just so that he could go and get a bunch of money for charity by selling tasteful nudes. The problem is he ended up causing so much traffic on there selling his tasteful nudes for charity, he crashed the whole site.
Good job, Mark.
They could not handle him.
Saving young men's lives. Good job, Mark.
What can I say? He's an attractive
God.
guy.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Though
I'm
for
pretty sure
for
that-
actual context, I actually haven't seen
So
these
he's
Digimon
crashed.
nudes, and I don't think I ever will. So
So
take that
he's
with
saving
crashed
many
multiple
people's lives.
websites.
Well, it's the tasteful nudes, like the kind you see on a sexy fireman's calendar. Now, next up on my list, a little less interesting, Microsoft is apparently setting out to buy Netflix.
Oh joy.
Oh yeah. I think.
That's not a good
Yes,
thing.
after-
Microsoft.
Yeah.
After they already bought Activision Blizzard.
Yeah.
And yet they're still facing lawsuits.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Kill Actiblizzard. Make Bobby Kotick jobless.
Yes, I hope so. Even when
Someone
he
just
gets
popped out.
sent off with a golden parachute.
Up.
Who cares?
Okay.
Just get rid of that guy.
Well, after that, Ori has probably been paying more attention to this story than I have. Low Tier God, one of the most toxically acidic people on YouTube, recently got himself banned off the platform.
Hilariously enough, for ban evasion. Because his main account, I believe, was given a 7-day suspension. I can't remember what for. Probably for something involving copyright or something. Definitely for breaking terms of service. So he wound up, in his infinite wisdom, with like 17 pairs of quotation marks, decided to stream on his alternate account, and both accounts wound up getting terminated for ban evasion.
Of
So
course
for a
they
while,
did.
he decided to stream on Trovo, and hilariously enough, he wound up getting outviewed by a troll content creator.
I can't say I'm surprised. It surprised me he was
And
doing
now
well on
he's
YouTube in the first
ban-evasion
place.
on
You may
now he's
delete that
ban-evading
one
on
picture.
YouTube, and we shall see how long that lasts.
Oh boy, you showed me a video compilation of his funniest rage moments, and oh my god, he was shit at all of the games that he played.
That's
Wait, who
it.
was?
The only
He's a camper, and he's also with, again, 17 pairs of quotation marks, mentally untouchable.
Wait,
I think-
camper?
hold on a moment.
Camper?
Yeah, we're
Low
talking
Tier
about
God.
Low Tier God.
Wait,
Is
what?
that the
Oh.
guy who told us to love ourselves?
That's the
Just
one.
saying.
He's the one that started the meme. Thing is, a friend of mine named Full Bender made a bunch of videos about him and Darkside Phil, another incredibly salty gamer. He's like the light version in more than one way of Low Tier God, and I actually got to be in that video, and my wife got to be in another one. So we're at least somewhat familiar with these people, and they're just... It's a wonder they lasted as long as they did on this platform.
I actually saw that video, and I'm like, I just looked at Low Tier God and I was like, does this bro even know what leg day is?
Yeah, that was one of the jokes I
Whoa.
made.
Yeah, like, can we just have Lady Legacy be like, yo, fam, get to do that leg day?
Lady Legacy, that's funny.
Lady like this.
Okay, let's start diving into the card game stuff now, because I've got no other articles to talk about, unless someone else has got something to bring up.
Let's talk
Actually-
about cheese.
I have.
The
Oh, you
top-
do?
Actually, I do.
Okay, let's let Zivuth go first. He hasn't been able to talk very much because of what happened last time.
So first off, I had my birthday. I'm 1 year older again. Yay!
Congrats.
I what was the second thing I wanted to say? Shit.
Okay, while you're trying to remember, let's let Reborn say his thing real quick.
Oh, yeah, Eiji Tsuburaya's love child is getting another power up, and I'm like, oh brother.
I assume this is for that Ultraman thing?
Yeah. And they're making the blank Geats belt, one without the magnum and boost. That would be nice and all, but you should also give us the ability to make custom ID cores.
That would be cool, actually. I kind of like to make my own ID core. I can imagine that being on a little emblem in the middle of a giant belt buckle.
Yes. They're also making the CSM version of the belt buckle, because where people were complaining about the buckle having various problems, they said, "Screw it, we'll make a CSM version."
Yeah,
Fair
that'd
enough.
probably be for the best, honestly.
Mhm.
Okay, so Zivuth, did you remember that other thing?
Yes. You know that Zivuth already exists as a PNG model. No answer. Okay, also good.
What?
Well, apparently, what I want to say is that on Fiverr I found a artist who can make Zivuth a 3D model for YouTubing and VR chat,
Oh,
which will commission next month for $200. So yeah, that's nice. I
that's...
didn't expect to find an artist who makes models that cheap.
You know what? I didn't either. That's actually really cool.
Yo, this is lit. Ladies and gentlemen, it's lit in this house.
Yes, it
Oh,
is.
boy.
What about the
On
young
fire,
savages?
lit.
So yeah, Zivuth becomes a reality soon.
Okay,
Now
so...
to the card stuff, because I have something to talk about that too.
Sounds good. Let's get started with some of the quick topics. First off, Ori, I believe you got some stuff to correct me on about what I was saying about the Digimon stuff last time.
Yeah, it's a couple corrections, and the first one is a mistake on my part, because I thought the starter deck for Beelzemon would be released on December 9th. It is, but in Japan. The English release
Oh.
date isn't actually due until March 24th, even.
Ah.
Then for expansion set 4, Alternative Being, I tried to update you, but you unfortunately couldn't get the memo. Not the memo, but you didn't get it. During that update, we had an official release date being for December 23rd in Japan. The set is now out in Japan. It is due for release on June 23rd in overseas. And of course, as the set implies, it's based on alternate forms. However, some of the more interesting cards include new playstyle for Chaos Gallantmon, a new playstyle for Omnimon Alter S, including the debut of Omnimon Alter B, but probably the best part, well, couple best parts, we finally have Ravamon from Savers or Data Squad finally coming into the game in this set. But also, Shine Greymon Ruin Mode is in this set as a secret rare.
Nice.
Yeah, and it's kind of fitting that they debuted Ruin Mode in this set before debuting Shine Mode. Very fitting as in the anime, since they had Ruin Mode come first and then Burst Mode later. So anyway, for the next future sets, Booster Set 11 Dimensional Phase is still due to be released overseas on February 17th. Main support being for Ulforce Vidramon, Mastemon, Machine Dramon, Black Core Greymon X, and then Galacticmon from the Digimon World 3 video game.
Oh.
Yeah. And then Booster Set 12, Across Time. It's due to be released on April 28th overseas. The main starring factor being Digimon and their respective tamers from series from Adventure 1 up until Fusion in the dub, or known in Japan as Cross Wars. So that's Tie and War Greymon for Adventure 1, Davis and Imperial Dramon from Adventure 2, Gallantmon from Tamers. I can't remember his actual tamer, the person who had you know who I'm talking about. Of course we have not Ancient Greymon, but the other Greymon shown in Digimon Frontiers. Of course, there's
Burning Greymon or Emperor Greymon?
Burning Greymon. Thank you. Of course, Shine Greymon and Marcus Damon from Savers or Data Squad, and a whole bunch of tamers and hunters from Cross Wars, including Shoutmon X7 Superior Mode Secret Rare.
Gotcha.
Will we still be able to give people hands with Marcus?
Yes, we can. We can still use Marcus for game.
Always fun.
Okay. Major news for the reprint set. Rising Wind. We finally have some reveals for it. And of course, major reprints including Blitz Omnimon, for one thing. Other more valuable reprints, such as the BT5 Coremon, and other big ones like Lucemon. And, of course, the big selling factor, all of the Gamamon evolutions from Digimon Ghost Game. Not just showcased in the anime, but from also, their own little tamer Digivice thing. Basically their answer to Tamagotchi.
Yeah.
Of course, it introduces Siriusmon and a whole bunch of other evolutions, including, of course, Gulasgamamon, the Dark Digi-Evolution, and Regulusmon, both of which were revealed today, which makes me think that they will eventually be revealing the Dark Mega Evolution Arcturusmon in the near future. And now the big news. Booster Set 13 versus Royal Knights has been announced.
Ooh.
As of course the name implies, it's based around the Royal Knights. However, by the looks of things from what we've seen from reveals, it's actually going to be a set revolved around Digimon Savers or Data Squad, as it's showcasing off reveals from the likes of Mirage Galgamon Burst Mode, Shine Greymon Burst Mode, and the most important one, King Drasil 7D6 coming to the card game.
Huh.
Yeah, one of the forms of King Drasil is finally coming to the Digimon card game, which makes me wonder in anticipation how they're going to implement it.
Well, if they found a way to implement D-Reaper, they'll probably find a way to implement him.
True. I do believe that they'll probably give Drasil 7D6 the D-Reaper treatment. As in, you can play up to 50 copies of it per deck. The release date is due for the 23rd of January in Japan, while the English release is apparently due for July 21st. Though, of course, this is all subject to change.
Of course.
And that is, of course, all the news I have concerning Digimon.
Okay, well, this is going to be surprising come from me, but I actually have a piece of Pokemon news.
Ooh.
It's about the Pokemon card game. I wish Yosh was here. He'd have a field day over this.
Oh, that's right.
yeah.
The fairy type's getting removed, isn't that?
Yeah.
Yes, thank you for stealing my thunder. I appreciate that. Yes, they made, but that's not the only change they made. For the incoming Sword and Shield expansion, based on what I read, that any new fairy cards will be imported as psychics, and any new poisons will be imported as darkness.
Oh,
In addition, new Pokemon resistances will go from -20 to -30, and they'll also be making multiple type resistance changes. Water Pokemon, for example, will now be weak to lightning instead of grass.
What's that
What?
bullshit?
Apparently, they're trying
can't they
to.
still be weak to grass? Because they're weak to both grass and electricity in the games?
Yes, but we're talking about the
Jesus.
card game is the problem, and they can't really have a lot of multiple type instances on the cards representing how weak they are, so they can only do one at a time. So they decided to prioritize lightning over grass.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
Eesh.
That doesn't make sense to me based on the fact that I'm pretty sure there are more grass-type Pokemon in the game, but sure.
It doesn't make sense to anybody when you look at it objectively. I don't think anyone's going to argue that.
I mean, water reflect light, so it doesn't make sense.
It just seems like they're trying to simplify the game a little too much.
Little bit. I mean, I'm all for them trying new things and keeping the game interesting, considering that their, set rotation policies aren't exactly what I consider to be the best, but I don't know if this is the right option.
I think maybe they should have just not added the fairy type and kept the others.
Yeah, that might have been a better way to go about it. But, anything interesting going on in Cardfight Vanguard, maybe? Anything new?
Yeah, we got the debut of a new ride line.
Oh.
Remember what I was talking about Furry Nobleman a bit earlier?
Yeah.
It's because of this. The Granfia. The ride line brings back plant tokens, but now gives those plant tokens gauges. So it's literally you're just watering a flower. Really buff.
Ah. So hyper buff.
Yes. Because the grade 1 makes a plant token. The grade 2, the thing is with the grade 2, if you have a plant token and you ride to the grade 3, it's now free.
That's impressive.
Yeah, that's a word for it.
Also,
Impressive.
the OCG got Minerva, which
But
will be the most expensive cut in the history of Vanguard.
But the problem with the 2 is that's all it does.
Oh yeah, that whole meme with the ice type.
Oh
going
god.
But the grade 3 is if your plant tokens have a plant gauge, you call a rose token in your back rear guard where it was. When your back row, after he attacks, your token has a gauge. You put up to 5. You pick a rear guard, probably your rose token. For each card placed, it gets +5. You placed 3, stand it. This is a 4 attack deck. It's a bit weird, and we don't know how we're gonna make the Noblest Rose now, because we would need to make this consistently. Hopefully, they give us an order that lets us do this. Rear guard, the token can't be moved at all. Okay, when your plant token is placed on rear guard, you put plant gauges. So you want to make tokens, and for each gauge, it gets +5. If your rear guard were to die, it's a more durable token.
Understandable.
But the real thing is it's rougher to make.
I can imagine.
Because now your back row is going to have all these tokens. You have the Big Dug Mushroom where you shove him into the soul to make 2 plant tokens, and if you have a Giraffina, a rear guard gets +5. When he's placed on rear guard, you make a plant token. There's actually another one that says when you place on rear guard, make a plant token. Battle phase begins. You make another plant token.
So it's just token generator. It's literally the plant deck.
Yeah, pretty much.
Plants are a beautiful thing in any card game.
Yeah,
Yep.
until they become annoying.
Has to
Yeah,
be-
just look at Sonavalon with their 1-card combos.
Reminds me of
and
the old days of the
also
plant zombie
Black
engine.
Garden. Oh yeah, and also Black Garden. Never
Oh.
forgetty.
Oh god, never forget the Yeti spaghetti.
Yeah,
Okay,
and
so
then next week we're going to be seeing Gundams now.
pardon?
Excellent.
Because the next guy is going to have a mech themed unit, and we're gonna have a set order gimmick and a new set order, which means Combine Rusher is going to cost $50 again.
Jeez.
So you need 200. Okay, you're gonna need to buy a $200 playset, and I still don't see anything to help Graham Grace. Could we get the rest of his ride line already? But the real problem I see with his ride line, it does nothing. Early game, it does nothing.
Let me just say something real fast. When you guys do for Yu-Gi-Oh, give me some time for a banlist prediction. Now I'm gonna go clean my dishes.
You do
All
that.
right.
We got a couple other things to talk about first anyways.
Maxito 3.
I got 15 minutes to clean this place before I just chill out and eat edibles. So hopefully I can get that done in 15.
Go ahead. Anyways, so the ride line does nothing until you actually get to the point of it, huh?
Yeah, because as soon as you make the token, by God, you know that token's gonna get nuked. Because there are some ride lines that do a lot turn 2. Garafina does not do that. Overlord will destroy the token.
What about Underlord?
Gravidia would have probably already have killed you by either turn 2 or turn 3. Gravidia has probably already killed you because they drew through half their deck. Gravidia is literally one of the few decks in Vanguard where you can actually die by deck out. It is rare for that to happen, but in Gravidia, it is not that rare. You draw and deck thin so much that you will probably be killed by turn.
Wait, you can lose by deck out in Vanguard?
Yes. It's rare, but some decks have done it.
It's one of those it's one of those circumstances where the game has that as a mechanical means of losing, but it's so rare for it to happen it almost never comes up.
It is very Gravidia is one of those decks that one of the few
Also,
things that can beat it is itself.
I have a question for Vanguard decks, which is there a Succubus or Demon Team deck in Vanguard? Because
Well,
all
there
I have
was.
seen is Dragon Mechs or Waifus.
Well, there
Yes,
was. There was. Go ahead.
Favnil. But Favnil is. They had an idea with Favnil. I think somebody in Bushy Road was way too drunk making this card, and nobody had any real clue what they wanted from him.
Sounds about right.
Like,
So the answer is no.
yeah, pretty much.
They used to have
like,
one back in the day. I forget what the name of it was. I want to say it was Dark Irregular.
yeah, Dark Irregulars.
It was.
AKA our Lord and Savior, Amon.
Yeah, it was basically every demon, vampire, succubus, incubus, whatever ibis you can think of that just existed. It was there.
That
But
sounds
now,
like my kind of deck right there.
but
So,
but
like a Yu-Gi-Oh player would say, a pile deck.
Essentially,
but
yes,
now,
but it's all decrepit and dark themed,
yes.
like a
But
Depeche
now,
Mode concert.
Dark States is literally just Pimp Daddy Greedon dancing in the middle of the night, restanding like a boss. And then they go out to play Monday Night Football.
Hell yeah.
They do be balling.
Interesting concept.
Swag.
Okay, so anything else Vanguard related? Because the next item on my list is to get through these things about Weiss Schwarz real quick.
Let's see. Because there was one thing they finally made Eugene. Oh, besides the Eugene support, as you can see, I've kind of lost all my hype for Eugene.
Oh yeah, I noticed that. You did seem a little lower energy than normal.
Yeah, like when it comes to Eugene, I'm like, could we have could we have more actual dragons in Dragon Empire?
No.
It's called Dragon Empire.
Oh
Why
yeah.
are there so
Need
little
more
dragons?
fish. Need more fish.
Amnesty Messiah. They nerfed him to religion. He don't get the crit anymore, and you can't pick himself. When he swings stride, well, I would want to say stride in D is basically just ultimate stride, just so that they have a way to make you run 4 copies of your grade 3 in the deck. If he attacks, Counterblast 1, a G flip. Wow, it's been a while since I said that.
Let me interrupt fast. You guys said Monday Night Football. Damar, if you guys heard about the story, he's awake. He's able to squeeze hands. He's got neurological control.
Huzzah. Okay.
I know the situation. No, I know the situation. If not.
Yeah. When he attacks, cost Counterblast 1, flip a G flip. Choose any number of your opponent's locked cards and unlock them. Pick one of your rear guards. It gets +5 for each card that was unlocked.
It's
They
just
nerfed him.
Yeah. I remember him being a lot stronger in his previous iterations. I guess they were just afraid of letting him do what he did before.
Pretty much. Because I remember the old version said you could unlock your own shit. And he got a crit. One thing that kind of the ticket with Eugene, they have a way to get to best harvest faster, but they also have to remember to, because of all the new stuff that has regalious pieces on it, they have to nerf them so that Eugene doesn't have a free way of saying, I could put a perfect guard into my hand at the end of my turn. Because this new grade 3 which is a problem that is now for Eugene, is that if I'm placed on rear guard, you have a Vanguard with Eugene. Soundblast 1, pitch 1, pick a grade 3 normal order that doesn't have regalious piece. Show it, shuffle. The only grade 3 order that you're running is best harvest. This could have just said add best harvest to your hand. Because what are you getting? Bushiro thinks we a bunch of dumb people, dumbasses.
I hate to say that I agree. But then again, what card company doesn't think its player base is a bunch of morons?
True.
Yeah, because they're trying to give us this grade 1 that has the grade 1 Commander Laurel that
Yosh.
makes you
Howdy.
Eugene restanding.
Yosh, you made it.
Yosh.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was
Oh,
sleeping
Yosh.
and I didn't hear anything go off. Like my phone was on silent. I guess.
It's no problem, man. We're
Yosh
glad
is
you made it.
here.
We were just getting into the card game stuff, and Reborn was mentioning some stuff about Vanguard.
Oh, okay.
A lot of stuff that Bushiroad still refuses to give Dragon Empire an actual dragon. Like,
oh, the irony.
I'm like, can you honestly still call Verena a dragon? That bitch is now a phoenix. I want an actual dragon in your so-called Dragon Empire. I am appalled. I haven't been this appalled since I learned white diamonds didn't have actual diamonds in it. Well, that's all I have for Vanguard lately. I'm also getting into Shadowverse.
Really?
Yeah. I've like despite how much I consider that hero being one of the worst characters in trading card game anime history, is I have a Yuma situation with the Shadow.
Gotcha. Well
Like,
then, if that's all you have for Vanguard, I guess I'll take over with Weiss Schwarz.
all right.
Regarding Weiss Schwarz, when do you gonna teach me it?
I can teach it to you tomorrow if you like. I'll be at work and I won't have much else to do.
Oh, that would be great, because we talked about that long ago, I think, but we never got to it.
Right. I'll be sure to get to you as quick as I can about that. But beforehand, let's dive right into Weiss Schwarz, and I'm going to keep it real quick. There's quite a bit to talk about, so I'm going to try and speed run it a little bit. First off, the Bushiroad Championship Series is pretty much over, except for the World Tournament in the spring. We had 3 more tourneys, and I'm very happy about the turnout for these. On December 11th in Suntec City, Singapore, the winner was the Adventure Time deck, specifically the Princess and Ice King line, which makes me very happy. It's very similar to the variant I play. But after that, and at the same time, in Manhattan, New York, there was another tournament that happened on the same date, and the winner was an Attack on Titan player, which is also cool because that's not a deck you see top very often. However, a week later in Anaheim, California, they had probably one of the biggest tournaments of the season, and the winner was a quintessential quintuplets deck, which prompted a new ban list to come out. And
wow.
and it specifically hit quints. They put 2 cards on a choice restriction. They don't really have anything to do with each other. One reduces damage, and one happens to be a powerful resource piece. They just happen to be too powerful together. And don't worry about it, Raven. We got you. But in addition to that, the newest products that have finally dropped is the Seven Deadly Sins Season 2 pack, which I've invested in, and I'm going to continue investing in because I've got a deck in mind I want to build. And the Bang Dream Girls Band Party Cheering Collection is also out, so I don't have to think about that ever again. And they've also given us some confirmations on some upcoming product. Psychono Season 2 is confirmed for dropping on May 5th. A new show called The Fruit of Grisaya is going to be dropping in the game on May 19th. I know nothing about it, and I'm going to take a closer look at it. The Quintessential Quintuplets movie is confirmed to drop on June 2nd. Which means that they might actually get a harder hit this time around, because from what I hear over in Japan, that series is obnoxiously powerful. And the big one that a lot of people are excited about, we finally got a date for the Avatar The Last Airbender set, which is June 16th, and they're already accepting pre-orders.
Man, let's go.
Oh, damn.
And that was all the Weiss Schwarz news that I had. Other than the fact that I'm planning on building a bunch of decks for the game because I finally got some of my holiday work money in, so hurrah.
Yeah, let's
Hurrah.
So now we can go ahead and dive into Yu-Gi-Oh! Now, Tomy...
Oh my god, yeah,
Okay, so first off, Tomy asked at the beginning if he could go ahead and get his thing out of the way because he's not feeling well, so I'm going to let him have a few minutes to get this out of his system.
Alright, so those edibles help me feel a little bit better, but they ain't shit. I'm just gonna get the ban list out of the way, and then you guys can go over stuff, and I might chime in. If we do get another ban list, we outright need to. I know you're gonna hate me. And terraforming, hit the tier spell to 1, hit all the tiers to 1, hit their seizure cards, hit the B stills. We also need to keep in mind that Sprite is an issue. Sprite Cranberry, I don't call him the regular name if I just edited. We need to be the ban elf outright limit.
But we don't even have a meta at that point.
Oh,
So?
we're getting the cash tier stuff. New fresh meta.
When?
Shit. New fresh meta is cash tier. We're getting a new set that's not gonna affect the meta in January. Then we're getting cash tier. Then we're getting the reprint set, which is finally putting the GX Academy card. Oh boy. But like, other than all these hits, I would like to see Desires back to 3, Literalist guy to 3. Magical Explosion can get the fuck out of the format. Let's just match the OCG. Yada to 2. Spellbook of Judgment 2 because it ain't doing shit. Called by the Great Band. Sorry. Not sorry. Chain Strike can come back. They might semi-limit Regeki. I don't see why I would do that. The OCG is much more slower. And here's something I want back because I'm a Danger Dark role player. I want Snake and Jackal up to 2. But keep in mind, this is something my friend told me he wants to come back. He wants Prankertops back to 3. I don't know how you feel about that.
I mean, I'm not opposed to the idea of letting Pankratops come back to higher numbers, but I don't know if the game is safe enough to allow it yet, especially with it being a level 7 and has a lot of potential right now.
Yeah, and I told him it can't happen because of cash tier. I told him they might ban it just because of cash tier. They got mad. Okay, so just 4 cards I want to come off the list. Keep in mind, these are just once. Glow Up Bulb. I know it's a 1-card link 4, but yada yada yada. I want Glow Up Bulb to come back to 1. I would love to see Maxi get reprinted and then it come back to 3. Hypothetically, if Maxi got reprinted and they put crossouts at 3 and callback at 3, that's fine. Rodent Totem back. Substitute ban, Toad ban. Bring back Rodent Totem. 2 other cards I want to come off this ban section. Now, hear me out. I want us to get the Errata of Ancient Fairy, so that's already counted for. 2 cards I want to come back. And this is for Reborn. This is for my friend who plays Noids. This is for all you Noids players. Blaster can come back, and Arcus Hot Power to 1. Now, on the limited section, I don't see anything I want to pull off the list.
Limits?
This does a whole lot of nothing, if you ask me.
That's kind of the point.
It's kind of the point. They're hitting a bunch of shit to hit cash tier. But on the limited shit, the only thing I want to come back is I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this.
So hold on, the point we're really hitting the top tier deck, and then we're hitting everything else with it in order to put ourselves back in a tier 0 format, and then just unbanning a bunch of cards that aren't really going to do anything except make other decks playable.
Well, they're not gonna hit cash tier. Oh,
no, of course they're not going to hit cash tier, but literally what you said just literally makes them tier 0, which is a type of format that nobody fucking likes.
Yeah, it's gonna be another tier 0 format because
nobody likes tier 0 formats.
Well, I know no one likes a fucking tier 0 format, but Konami's gonna push us into another one. This is what's going to happen because they want their fucking money and all they care about is their greed. I know we don't like tier 0 formats. I know tier 0 formats are worse than getting a paper cut on your penis. We're going to go into another tier 0 format. And if they don't hit anything, we're going to have 2 tier 0 decks just running around fucking each other in the ass. Let me finish what I was going to say. I'd like to see Draco Face Off come back to 3 and Hate me for this. Gold sock to 2. Dude.
I don't have an issue with Gold Star coming back to 2.
I mean, yeah, it's a pretty naff card, really,
I
so
don't
meh.
think anyone minds Gold Sark to 2, especially since Thunder Dragons is still
I'm sorry if it came out as a tier 0 format, but that's what they're going to fucking do. They don't give a fuck about the player base. All they care about is their fucking wallets.
Yes,
mean-
you mentioned that.
They've shown it since 2018. I understand this ain't gonna do shit. We're gonna have to deal with another tier 0 format for another 3 to 6 months. And even if they do go out and preemptively hit cash tier and hit these other decks, the deck's still gonna have a way to lock you. Like, I played OCG. Hypothetically, we got the OCG list. Hypothetically, tomorrow we wake up, we have everything matched with the OCG other than Max C. That deck is still insane. I play OCG format a lot. So, I'm sorry if y'all ain't liking that list, but it's gonna happen, and I know everyone's gonna fucking hate it.
I would like to give my own personal ban list wish list for the TCG.
Sure, go ahead.
I would too,
Oh,
but
I've-
after you.
Well, my intent for this particular fan-made ban list is to address the tier 0 problem, but not make tier laments outright unplayable, if you get what I mean.
Right.
It needs to be unplayable at this point. Ban Instant Fusion along with it.
Instant
Funny-
Fusion is not a problem, though.
I have 6 cards that I would move to the Forbidden section. Well, actually, 11. Those being Tearlament's Havness, Dimension Shifter, all 6 barrier statues,
I could get behind this.
Yeah.
Oh
Instant
shit, I forgot
Fusion.
about the wind statue.
No, I don't think about that.
Instant Fusion, that has to go. Primeval Planet Perlerino, and
What's that one?
Tearlament's Crimes. I would like to go over my reasoning for each one.
You don't
I
need
mean,
to
we
go
can
over
pretty
the
well
one
guess
for
where
the
most of
barrier
those are.
statue.
Yeah.
Don't need to
because-
go over the barrier statues. I think everyone can agree with that.
I know the wind statue definitely needs to go, but all of them should probably go just because we can access them through a multitude of ways if we really tried. Hell,
I was going to
could-
say,
Small world.
all the barrier statues are the exact same card but for different attributes, but people want Zorman specifically banned because they hate Fluenderies. But I got some flu hate in this list as well, because I've banned Shifter, and in the limited section, I put in Rabina. I'm not going to ban Rabina because without it, the deck doesn't work. But with Rabina Limited, it's less consistent.
Oh.
I know it can still do the big things like Tribute Summon Mega Riser on your opponent's turn, but
Oh, speaking of ban list, my friend who used to run the tournaments, who doesn't play in this anymore, wanted you to see the updated ban list in his casual server. I'm posting it in podcast chat, and I think they nailed this ban list. They finally nailed a lot of problems. If you want to look.
we can look into that later.
so anyway, as I was saying, alongside Rabina, I've limited Merly, Sheeran, and Kikkolos. Those are the Tearlament's hits. I've left Rhino Heart alone because we are getting Vicious as Stroud sometime in the future, and Rhino Heart's the least annoying of the Tearlaments.
That's fair.
And with the Tearlament's hit, Dimensional Fissure and Macrocosmos are also going to be put back at 1.
Funny thing is, I haven't seen them hardly at all.
They're not going to. They're not going to outright do that.
Well, these
I
are his
could see
wishes. He's
that-
not saying that these are his predictions.
Yeah. And I'm going to do some removals from the Forbidden section into Unlimited because honestly, Semi-Limited is completely pointless. Very few cards are actually affected by it. Those being Ancient Fairy Dragon with an errata,
Which should be
Of
coming
course.
soon.
yeah.
Yeah, it's only
The-
really meant to keep malicious at 2.
Yeah.
That's
The other dragon rulers that are banned because power creep has not been very kind to them.
I wholeheartedly
Yeah.
disagree and will never see the idea of letting them off any of the ban lists in the future except for the fire one.
Same here.
Actually, I want them all off the list too, because what do they do nowadays except rank 7 spam? Let's be
I
Oh,
mean, yeah, there's the upcoming Kashtiras and all the rank 7 stuff. But
I
honestly,
They don't
that's more of an
synergize with
excuse to
Kashtira.
unban the
They need
dragon
too much
rulers.
space on their own.
I'd
And
be willing.
Kashtiras aren't dragons. They
I'd
need
be
the
wi-
space their own.
I'd be
Yeah.
willing to see all of the dragon rulers get unbanned for a single ban list after Kashtira, just to see what would happen.
I guess I
Nothing
could be
will
interested in
happen.
that as a social experiment.
To be honest, I think that with the
Kashtira
ban,
can't play them.
Y'all do.
I think that Yu-Gi-Oh needs to do what Overwatch did with some of its like testing. No, more like For Honor does with like testing grounds, just where either certain tournaments or certain times in the game's history they unban cards just to see what would happen.
Like, just look what happened with Fairy Tail Snow.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Like, for example, that was obviously, oh yeah, we should not have that out.
No.
And obviously Snow should never be in the game when Dragon Rulers ever are out. Seeing what'll happen with Dragon Rulers once, just to get an understanding of why they're still banned. Or, oh, they're not actually that bad.
Anyway, as for the other unlimits, I only have 3 more, and those would be Thunder Dragon Colossus, Infinity Archfiend, and Orcust Harp Horror. Mainly because Orcus, Thunder Dragons, and Infinities aren't really doing anything nowadays in this current format.
I don't agree with Thunder Dragon Colossus just because the moment you get that. Because here's the thing. Thunder Dragons worked with Chaos Dragons back in the day.
Yeah.
I have a suspicion that if we get, I would have said this before Bestial was printed. I would have agreed with it, but now that Bestials are out and they can remove from play one light or dark monster and special summon themselves, I don't think that Thunder Dragon Colossus is good to come back just because of that factor.
Actually agree.
Oh, that
I
shit
actually
can
agree,
stay
'cause
banned.
there's so many other
Yeah.
ways that people can abuse summoning high level thunder monsters just to summon Colossus.
I agree with Harpora though.
Yeah, I don't
But
know if
Well,
I
I
actually,
can,
what
back.
card
in that
can
case, I'll replace
come
Thunder
back to
Dragon
3?
Colossus with Mecha Phantom Beast Auroradon because that was a victim in the whole Halka Fibrax circle jerk. But now that Halka Fibrax is now banned, I think Auroradon can come off off the list.
No,
they're
it
not
can't.
gonna.
maybe.
No,
Maybe.
no.
Debatable.
Maybe. That's a maybe. Just
Yeah.
Or maybe just put it at 1.
It's
That's a-
still too
At 1
busted
would
that
put
it
I
I
think it would
mean,
play it more
at
than
one
for
when
free.
you would only play one in the extra deck.
Yeah.
If I may, because I gotta go make dinner. I did wanted to make my ban list hope.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay.
Go on.
Sure.
I straight up just want the Ishizu stuff to be gone.
Yeah.
I think
And
we all agree to that one.
I think personally, I think that the Ishizu stuff is unfair when it actually comes out, but at least with tier elements and some of the other stuff, there is actual you can play, you can fight. You can fight it at least.
I think we can all agree that Ishizu completely broke tier elements.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My opinion,
Ishizu is the problem because
my
Ishizu
opinion-
also.
my
Let me-
opinion, ban the 2 that mill. Ban the 2 that mill and limit the other 2.
Here's
I
the thing,
mean,
though.
Ishizu turned duels into deck profiles.
If I may continue,
Yeah.
Yes.
Ishizu broke the game in the OCG with Vernalizer. It broke it in this game with Tearlament. So Ishizu, if you ask me, is the problem, not Tearlament. Though Tearlament will need to get a power reduction sometime in the future if it's stronger than Cashter, whatever it's called. I think that the next ban list should unban a lot more than actually get rid of stuff. Because right now I don't really, just because there's only one meta deck actually coming into the game that we know of. I don't know if the other decks are going to be meta. None of us really do. So right now, I think unbanning cards in order to experiment with them would be the better bet instead of actually just nuking the format. We don't even have, we don't have any variety if we ban Tearlament outright. If we ban Ishizu, yeah, we do, because now Tearlament is under control and can actually be fought against instead of it being, oh, they're running Ishizu Tearlament, so they lock me out of fucking everything.
Yeah,
that's actually a fair logic line. I have to agree with that
yes,
one.
because without the Ishizu cards, tiers would be just tier 2 by now, because they also lost their danger pieces, how they come and play with danger. They can't get into play that much anymore.
The funny thing is that when I've seen the initial reactions to the Ishizu retrains, and people thought they were going to be mid at best, but then everyone remembered that Tearlaments existed.
Yeah, that's the thing. You look at something at face value, and then you look at it with other stuff, and then realize how strong it is. But it's looking at stuff in initial face value that's always the problem with cards, because then they get overlooked. But then all of a sudden they're strong. With that being said, the stuff that I think could come off the ban list are, at least for one season, the Dragon Rulers. They could come off right now, before Cashier comes into the game, and then get swiftly banned after if they become a problem, or if they become a problem with Cashier. Harp Horror to 1. I could see the dangers coming back to 2. And people are not going to like this. I could see Master Piss going to 1.
You say Master Piss?
I should have said, I meant to say Mr. Piss, but yes, that's what I said.
Okay.
To 1. To 1.
Okay.
To 1 specifically, because even terraforming is at 1. The Dragonic Diagram's at 1. And so isn't Card of Demise still at 1?
Yeah, but I'm the type of person that just too many powerful field spells. We're getting the cash tier deck. We need to ban terraforming. I'm sorry, homie.
Yeah. I'm gonna say this as a hot take. For a good way to I'm gonna say hit or at least counter pyramids is bring back Call by Grave to 3. Bring it back 3.
I would not be opposed to seeing Call by the Grave come back at higher than 1.
Yeah,
it could come back at least at 2, because at 1 it's too harsh for how many hand traps we have in the game.
I kind of agree with the Call by the Grave to over 2, just because at 1 it's sacky and can decide a game, and at 3 at least everyone has access to it as much as possible.
Exactly.
Just because it's unfair if one person opens with it when they really need it and one person doesn't when they really need it, and they're in the same fucking game.
Well, I'm gonna say this real fast. If we get called by the 3, I'm a firm believer of 3 cross out, 3 called by, 3 ash, 3 gamma, Maxi can come back.
I do agree. I do agree with that. And if I'm honest, I do want Dimension Shifter to 0, like Connor said.
Yeah, I forgot about that one.
Dimension Shifter fucks with way too many decks, and it's a hand trap that you literally activate it when your opponent does it.
But the problem is, without Dimension Shifter, Ishizu tier becomes even stronger.
That's why I said get rid of Ishizu.
Dimension Shifter is only staying at 3 now because of Ishizu tier.
Or
Konami would have done it long ago.
That's why I'm saying get rid of Ishizu in order to get rid of Ishizu tier and ban Shifter. There's still Macrocosmos and Defissure to side deck, There's still those 6 of them in order to side deck and go first and flip it or use it on your opponent and hope that they don't have back row removal. But the fact of the matter, to be honest, I would hit both Nibiru and Dimension Shifter, but right now Dimension Shifter just straight up needs to go just because it is banish everything that gets sent to the graveyard this turn and it turns off.
I know you paid. I play when I don't play Ishizu here and I play with rogue decks or fun decks and my opponent smashes Dimension Shifter from the hand and I can basically give up.
I just don't like what Dimension Shifter, Dark Ruler No More, even though Dark Ruler No More did deal with Chaos Dragons. I don't like the power
Actually, Dark Ruler No More is a fair card because it's a normal spell card. What's problematic is Forbidden Prophet because it's a quick play.
I do agree with
flipped in the draw phase and you can't react to it in the draw phase. That's unfair.
I do agree with that. Those cards, like even Dark Ruler No More, I feel like cards like that, the way that they're used, they basically have no counterplay and have such huge amounts of strength, it doesn't feel fair. At least in Nibiru and Dimension Shifter's phase. Maybe not so much Dark Ruler No More, but...
I even say limit all the runic quick play spells because you can just activate it in your opponent's draw phase from your hand and he can't react. That's also too unfair.
Fair. Anyway, I gotta go make dinner. Everyone's telling me to go.
Alright, see you, man.
Alright, see you next time, man. Thanks for stopping by.
It was a pleasure.
I hope I can also speak in the ban list topic now. Thanks.
Sure.
You may hate me for that, but I'm gonna say Maxi 2-1. And I can explain why.
No.
It's either 0 or 3.
Hang on, let him explain. I'm curious.
Sorry.
You can only play 1 in a 40 card deck. Now think it like that. Why would competitive deck waste that 1 slot for Maxi when they can use the slot for a second or third card of another card? So that's the first point. The second point is it at 1? It's way too random to draw, which means you have it or you have it not, which is another case for competitive deck wouldn't play it. Then it would be a boost to rogue and fun decks that they can actually compete, which I find cool. So that's my idea behind it.
Let me just say this real fast. If we put Max C to anything else but 1, we break insects. I can search it. All it takes is insects to become meta and insects to become broken. And then about 5 of my friends would probably choke every Konami representative they see for getting their insect deck that they blinged out, even though it's low rarity. Most common. Insects need more love. I'm just saying that. I mean, hollow now. I mean, here's a common. Here's a super. Motherfucker, give me a secret.
Oh, that's what you mean. Okay, in rarity you mean. Okay, never mind.
Okay. Well...
Here's my next take, and you might think now, is that you crazy? But I say for my next hit, a Pot of Greed 2-1. Yes, I know it sounds stupid because it's a 3+1, but if you think like that, it's at 1. It's the same with Maxi at 1. It won't see place in competitive deck because it would be way too random to draw it or not draw it.
No,
and it would also give a boost to rogue and fun decks.
I go to locals and I ask like, hey, be your interviewer real fast.
Also, there's so much stuff nowadays that can just negate Pot of Greed. So
there's just so much stuff that, like, I was telling people, hypothetically, these 4 cards went to 1. Would you put them in your deck? 9 out of the 10 competitive players said if Maxi, Pot of Greed, and Graceful Charity and the Liquid Duo went to 1, they would play it.
Because there's no reason not to.
I still remember how people did cope when Change of Heart came back to 1 and nobody plays it now.
That's because Change of Heart is not as good as the other cards. That's why it's on banlist in the first place.
Hey, Change of Heart is another card that has been dealt a bad hand in terms of power creep. But if you unban Maxi in any capacity,
reborn here, please.
But at 1,
it doesn't matter.
It would be the balance.
We have
Yeah,
ways
well,
to search
no,
little
well-
spells to our hand. There's no reason why we can't accelerate it to our hand. And people would willingly play that. Besides, we got that new Triple Tactics card coming. It can pull it straight out of the deck.
And
Or
this
just
is
give
true.
a
Besides-
errata to Maxi and put it to direct to free it directly, like that you can max draw 3 cards with it, and that's it.
The problem is that even with that in mind, there's still plenty of reason to play it. There's
I
no
was gonna
way you can
say-
hit. There's no way you can hit Max C to make it fair across the board.
I was going to say, the reason why Pot of Greed and Graceful Charity are still banned to this day, sure, drawing cards is more random than searching the cards outright, and you could end up with the 2 worst cards in your deck. On the other hand, you could end up drawing the perfect 2 cards to make your opponent not play the game.
Yes.
And it's that chance that makes them unworthy of being off the ban list in any capacity. And I feel the same way about Max C.
It's too much of a risk.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right then, everyone.
Alright,
So we'll just
then.
errata Maxis. We'll just rat it. Let's do
Oh,
it.
the only way Max C can come back if it goes
We're
to
just gonna
3
rat it.
and call
Make
by
it
comes
suck.
3.
No,
if they-
we're just gonna errata Maxi. That's why we're gonna make it fair.
What?
Oh, you
Say
have
it's
to
once-
do errata
Once summon per turn. Special summon.
No.
Each summon has to be a different summon for you to draw a card. There's a link
Oh,
summon. You can
different
draw.
summoning
Pendulum
method?
summon, you can draw. If it's a ritual summon, you can draw. But if they're just XC summoning, well, I'm sorry, you got your 1 draw.
That was
I have
an
a better-
idea that I had, but even
it
then
would
it
be
doesn't
beautiful.
pan out.
I have a
Doesn't matter.
similar. I have a similar theory. What if you just it can't be searched?
That
You're gonna have-
would...
That's a possibility.
You're gonna have to errata its type and everything. The best way to do this is discard, draw 2 cards. After this, you cannot draw or add any more cards from the deck. to hand.
There's a gimmick puppet that has that same clause.
Yeah, and that's why no one plays gimmick puppets.
Well,
Like,
that
I
and the
used
deck
to-
itself is kind of unbound. Is kind of
But
not
I used to
very
play
good.
the fuck out of that shit.
Okay,
I'm about to
so
say, I
um,
have gimmick
so,
puppets built IRL, just waiting for
Can
Konami
I
to give it more
continue,
love.
or
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
so before I go myself to the unlimited section, what I see there, I go to the forbidden section that you can understand my unlimited hits better. So for the ban section first, I would actually ban all the barrier status. I think we agree all on that. That they are just shit.
More price to pay for salvation, but I am okay with that.
Then ban also Skype. I mean, it's not played at the moment in this format, but it's still a cancer card and will definitely come back this year once Ishizutir gets hit to the ground.
Wait, what card again? I didn't hear.
I said ban Skype because once Ishizutir isn't a thing anymore, it will be played again.
maybe.
Then my next hit, but it has also to do with what I come with the unlimited section, is ban El Shadow Winder. You will understand soon why I say ban Winder.
Actually, I don't think anyone here is going to argue that banning Winda is not the worst idea in the world.
I was
Actually,
going to say,
get rid of Window.
fuck Winda.
Yeah,
don't
no,
worry.
I'll
you're
argue
actually
it,
on the
only
right
'cause I like
track with
chaos.
that one. Naturally occurring floodgates are a problem.
Window
Yeah,
needs
should have
to go.
stayed
Let's
dead
talk
in the
about this.
storyline.
One thing that I will always have a beef with, a flood. I want Window to 1 Dragoon banned just due to the fact that a floodgate should not have immunities. And
Okay,
the
but
floodgate,
When Window 1 doesn't do jack shit, you gotta ban Window, fam. You gotta
yeah,
you
Winda
gotta-
needs to be
you gotta-
banned, but that has
Yeah,
nothing
you
to do
gotta-
with
Fuck
Dragoon,
still
though.
plays Winda.
I play a lot of Shadow players, and I just gotta say this: you either grab Window by the tits and throw it out, or just keep it in the
Well,
game.
remember, we gotta also realize there's a region. We're all in different regions of the world, so some play locals are just assholes, and some are just chill. Just
Yeah,
depends on
that's-
locals and regional,
That's very true.
or
but,
when you travel to
Let's
different
not
like
watch the
places.
world burn.
Well,
As a guy who likes Winda, it's like, yeah, I can see why some places Shaddolls are heavily played, and some places we're barely even getting Shaddolls at all.
I used to play Shaddolls as an engine in my dark deck way back in the day. It was too good. But
Yeah,
Zivuth,
you can get one on board.
But Zivuth, go ahead and continue.
Then my next hit on the band section is actually Tearlament Kid Carlos. It's a first step to nerf it in the TCG without touching any other tier card yet. Besides the OCG did the 2 and tier is still playable over there. When not on meter base anymore, but it's a nice tier 3 deck now. They're over there. Then for my last band hit, and now it goes wild. I say ban the 2 Ishizu cards that mill.
I think everyone here will probably agree with that one.
Yeah.
I actually kind of disagree.
Okay.
They're not gonna ban their CG cards. They're gonna limit them like they did in the OCG.
Possibly.
Here's the thing. I think the bigger problem of the retrains are the shufflers, Medora and Keldo, because they are very excellent at cock blocking people.
Yes, they are. They are very excellent cock blocking people. And I'm
But
glad
but the 2 mill cards are way more problem than the shufflers.
I would argue that the ones that fill the graveyard with pieces that can activate immediately, as opposed to shuffling away things that trigger in the grave, might be a bigger threat. But I think we can all agree that either way, Ishizu needs to be hit. If they ended up limiting all 4 of the monsters, I don't think anyone would complain.
Yeah. The OCGs did that. They limited every fucking thing.
But was there anything else, Zivuth?
Yes.
All right, well, go ahead.
Now I also want. Now I think I'm done with the band section, and now we'll move on to the unlimited section. First off, I would unban Yatagarasu because it does nothing, and we can all agree here.
Oh, yeah,
it's just stupid to keep it 1 at this point. So keep it, put it to
They're
3, and
they're gonna put it to 2 first. Sadly, that's what they do with every ban list. 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
Not every single one, but the majority, yeah. Well, a big reason they're going to probably jump it straight to 3 instead of going to 2 to 3 is because of the anniversary packs, but we'll get back to that later.
Oh shit, you right, homie.
But yeah, go ahead,
about that. Then the next card I would back to 3 is Pot of Desires, because let's be honest, at 2 it's stupid and it's not used at the moment anyway. So
yeah, I agree with that one actually. There's no reason to keep it semi-limited. They only did that to promote the new pot spells.
Yes.
I was going to say because the only reason why Desires was in the first place was because nobody was buying Blazing Vortex or the other one.
Prosperity or no severance.
Yeah.
I mean, Prosperity is better anyway than Desires. So why is Desires a 2? That's a joke.
Because
it's a budget option.
Yeah, it's a budget option and it has no real cost.
Yeah. Konami wants money. So in order for you to spend more money on their newer products, they're getting rid of budget options, so you spend more money.
Yeah.
There is a term for this. Nickel and diming.
Yep. Okay, so go ahead and continue, Zivuth. We've been talking about this for quite a while, and I want to move on to the next topic on the list.
Yeah, I was about to say,
yes, the next.
Sorry.
I actually can't remember what's still stupid decisions on the semi list, but we want to move on, so I make it quick and go directly to a card that I want from the band section directly to the unlimited section, and that is Grass Looks Greener, because let's be honest, all cards around it are who made the cat busted, banned, or power creeped into oblivion, and the only two archetypes who would actually play it at 60 card is Lightsworn and Thunder Dragons, and both aren't a problem anymore. And
I'm sorry.
Before you come now with tier laments,
did you discriminate against Skull Servants? Skull Servants will bust a nut, or bust a bone, or bust a bone dick, whatever.
Should
Yeah,
all
I mean,
yeah.
let them. They are just a
100%
fandex, so who
disagree with
cares?
Grass coming back. That card was a mistake. Should never been made. Just keep it banned. Case
And
closed.
before you come with
And-
the argument, but tier laments could abuse it. No, they can't because they suck ass with a 60 card variant. They have to play at 40 cards, so they can't play it.
That's a fair
And yes,
point,
that's
but
are my reason. That's are my reasons to unban grass.
But I disagree. I still think it should just never come back.
and I have to agree with that one. But that's
Well,
fine.
sadly, I'm gonna have to head on off since it's nearly that time for me. So
Dang, I was hoping we
go
could get to
enjoy
the other
rest
point
of the
sooner.
podcast. See you all around.
See you next
Be
time, man.
safe now. Be safe.
Yeah.
Don't do anything crazy.
So
Yeah, I do agree that grass is greener should stay banned, but mainly for the reason that here's the thing. Konami sucks at future proofing. We've seen that they've sucked at future proofing. Remember when I mentioned Favorite Contact?
Yep.
That came out a mere 3 years after Cosmo Neos. And you know one of the most hated hand traps of all time, Droll and Lockbird?
Hmm?
Well, the thing is that it's still decently relevant in the modern day in Rogue.
Joel
And
Lockwood
in-
ruins my day. I've been
but
wanting that
now
game
you
for
can
years.
see why I said ban El Shadowwinder.
But
Yeah, that's fair.
the funny thing is that Droll and Lockbird was released in the TCG all the way back in 2010. And now it's one of the most hated cards of all time, and it's still unlimited.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's what I call we don't really know what we get to until 2 years later.
Yeah.
Because what were we playing 2 years ago? Tell me.
I
2
don't
years
even
ago,
remember.
I was
Adamant
That's what Yu-Gi-Oh!
Scatter,
is. We don't remember.
Eldritch.
No. 2 years ago, I was
Skull.
I was playing nothing but GOAT format and True Draco. The
Well,
other
no,
2
and
years,
I'm just saying as a
the 2
meta-wise,
years
what were
before
we
that, I was
playing
playing Dangerous. I
that
was
was
playing Dangerous
controlling
Instead.
the whole spectrum?
I don't remember anymore.
Numeron,
Okay,
Eldritch,
so
Emancipator.
that's
Can
fair.
any of them beat
now
what we have right now?
Not
that's
really,
where
because of
now
power
my
creep.
And what
ban
was
list
before those
takes
2 years
I
ago,
just
prior to
had
that?
in my mind.
Oh yeah, it was Tusk format. Thunder Dragon,
But-
Orca, Sky
But later in the
and
ban list
Sound
discussion,
Great.
I
Oh,
can
let's
actually
see,
make a
let's-
proper list of
So,
what I
so you
think.
guys see what the point I'm making here is. We can get cards
Okay,
from
then
10
not.
years ago that no one cares
let's
for
go to
until a
Infinity.
deck can use it and destroy us with it. Then we kill it. But then when 2 years later we'll get something that's completely its own brand, comes from its own set, from its own archetype, and we hate it. And it just sucks because we're stuck in we hate cards that can be their own thing, that can break things, but we hate decks that have their own ideas and goals that can use that same card. So we're just in a stucky style, where we can't really get a perfect formula.
And in another example of failure to future-proof, terraforming. You know
I
that
love that
card
card.
that we wanted banned earlier? Well, when it was released back in 2005, field spells were very much different, and by that I mean awful.
And actually, someone was trying to finish and they just talked over him. I'm just gonna start muting. I don't give a fuck if I lose mod. Zivuth was trying to finish.
Now, Zivuth was trying to say something a minute ago. I'd like to hear what he has to say.
Yes, I just wanted to say that were just my quick intakes I had in my mind, but later in the ban list discussion channel, I will make a proper list, a proper wish list of the next ban list, what I think.
Sure.
But what I name it here will be on it. Plus, I have more time to think to put more on it, where I can also explain stuff better because we have limited time here in the podcast.
Right.
And
I'm gonna
I
say
actually wanted also to present here my Runic Purari deck here, but I don't think we have time for that anymore.
I'm gonna say something real fast. Next time we go on a ban list, we're gonna start everyone just take a self mute so people can go over the list.
I will consider that. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and get to some of these other topics now that we've gotten that out of the way. First off, going real quick through Master Duel, they've implemented some new stuff. They implemented their own ban list, ironically enough, that doesn't go into effect until next week, where they've limited Block Dragon and Supreme King Dragon Starving Venom.
Which does nothing.
They semi-limited Aluber, Predaplant Ophris Scorpio, Supreme King Dragon Darkworm, Sky Striker Kagari, Carta Demise, Divine Wind of Mist Valley, Pot of Duality, and Spellbook of Judgment.
Judgment could have went to 3, but they're pussies, like I said.
And they unlimited ABC Dragon Buster and Wind Up Carriers and Mighty.
Wait, why is
Can
ABC...
I be honest about this so-called Master Duel ban list? It's shit.
It's dog shit. Always
Why
dog
was
shit.
ABC hit in Master Duel?
Because it was doing well. Now, in addition to that,
always my childhood.
Well, in addition to that, they also added some new things. The Starry Night and Mutant Story modes were introduced. Totally Awesome is now available as a dual mate. They've introduced a new pack called Mysterious Labyrinth, which gives you the imports for the Labyrinth and Runic archetypes, as well as new cards for Predaplant and Weather Painters. They are also bringing soon the Beginning of Turmoil pack, which brings in Sword Soul, Despia, Ice Jade, Suship, and Dynamorphia cards. They have a new structure deck coming out called Immortal Glory, which appears to be the Zombie World Doom King supports. The Duelist Cup finally happened, which is where the prizes included the finalist icons and the reward packs, but other than that, not really much came of it. And the 6th anniversary celebration finally happened, where everybody got a free Mirror Force.
Mirror Force is so cool.
No, you got the free Mirror Force and Duel Links. You mixed something up now.
Oh, did I? Sorry about that.
I also
Yeah,
Mirror
but
Force.
wow, Mirror Force in 2023.
I honestly think it's mid just because your opponent is the one who's triggering it. If they have a feeling you have it, they can just not attack, or better yet, disable your back row and then.
If it was that easy, people wouldn't be complaining about it.
Looking at this new Master Duel pack, I'm pissed because we do not have something that needs to come into this game. They've been putting it off for way too long, and this is a shout out to another deck. We definitely just need to put in all the Cyber Dragon support because who doesn't want to take a 5-incher from a Cyber Dragon these days?
Well,
can't wait for Punk Tyrion in Master Duel.
Well, continuing down the list, OCG also got a ban list, which we were all raving about until we realized it didn't do as much as we thought it was going to do.
Yeah.
They banned Tearlament Kikalos and Barrier Statue of the Stormwinds. They also limited Ancient Fairy Dragon with its new errata, Castria Fenrir and Unicorn, Tearlament Sharon and Rhinoheart, Telenite Ptolemaeus, which we already did, Bestial Magnamut, which we kind of saw coming, Blackwing Steam the Cloak, because it doesn't matter anymore, Change of Heart, for the exact same reason we did, Prime Planet Parasos, I believe is that...
Perlarino. Oh no,
for some reason I have Parasos written here. And
I thought Change of Heart got banned a while ago.
And Brand Diffusion. They semi-limited Orcus Galatea, Swamp Frog, Sky Striker Kagari, Yatagarasu, Rite of Arameser, Infernity Launcher, Foolish Burial Goods, Raigeki, and Trickstar Light Stage.
Raigeki got hit? Really?
Yeah, it's down to 2.
Raigeki got hit because the OCG
The OCG, everyone decided free Raigeki.
No. The OCG is way too slow of a grind game. You don't have Max C. The reason why this format is so fucking fast, if we had Max C, I could deck you out with Dark World Handloom. If we had Max C and I'm playing Tier 0 format, you draw into all your combo pieces, you can shut me down. We have Max C. This is why I'm a big believer it can go to 3. But call by needs to go to 3 along with it.
Okay, well, continuing down the list, there's also the Unlimiteds, which is they brought back to 3 ABC Dragon Buster, Double Iris Magician, Water Chantress of the Temple, Phantom Knights of Torn Scales, and Elixir of Scarlet Sanguine. Now, here's the weird part. In the last month, we have had no new products come out in the TCG. There was nothing new in December except for what happened at the very beginning of the month.
Finally, a break.
But we did get some new information coming out in the future. First off, Speed Duel Tourney Pack number 5 is going to be dropping on March 8th. And ordinarily I wouldn't care, but some of the reprints in this are kind of nice. They've confirmed Ultra Rare Wall of Disruption and Elemental Hero Wildheart, Super Rare Exploder Dragon and Volcanic Shell, and Common Jinzo, Sphere Karibo, and Floodgate Trap Hole.
Okay, I'm not pay. I don't play speed duels. But it's a good thing to give them all that stuff. The only thing I care about speed duels is the secret rares. Everything else, I don't care.
Which is why I was announcing these new reprints and their new rarities. In addition, we also got some information about Cyberstorm Access, which has been confirmed to be dropping on May 5th finally. In addition to the new Playmaker stuff that they released, they also confirmed the new Super Heavy Samurai support that makes an entire engine activatable off of a single card.
Yay!
The new Visa Starfrost direct support, being the new fusion monster Vicious and their spell. The new Mana Dome archetype, which just looks like true true King support to me.
Yeah, if it was true Draco support, I'd be happy because Draco is fun.
They confirmed new individual support pieces for Puri, Makonko, and Rescue Ace. Libromancer support, Infinitrax support, Virtual World support, B-Trooper support, Sous Ship support, Chaos Synchro support, and a slew of support for the Albaz lore line.
Well, speaking of B-Trooper, that new B-Trooper fusion is insane. You know, another reason to ban instant fusion.
Well, yeah, the new B-Trooper fusion monster is pretty good because access to instant fusion and searchability is almost always a good thing.
Yep.
But the main problem is that insect decks still die to board breakers and Nibiru.
Well, no one's going to argue that.
Yeah. If they want
at
least the tiniest bit relevant to any sort of metagame, Konami needs to make stuff that actually helps them in those two particular categories. B-Gram was a good start, as well as the Perfect Great Moth. But one requires you to do what Armor Horde does, but kind of worse, but also kind of better. And the other requires you to run and equip it on an insect.
Well, in addition to that, there's also out of all the new stuff that they've announced, the one thing that has my attention more than anything, and it could be the best card in the pack theoretically, is that new Time-Rending Morganite spell. The thing that really rewrites the way the game works.
Oh, what's that do?
When you play it, for the rest of the duel, these 3 new conditions are applied to you. You cannot activate monster effects in your hand, but you get 2 normal summons every turn, and you also get to draw 2 cards every turn during your draw phase.
Christ! How you play Yu-Gi-Oh! I know it's a problem.
It's like they took It's like they took somebody's custom card and made it into an actual card. And honestly, I love it. There's only a handful of decks that can play it.
The thing is,
it's honestly amazing, and I love the card. Right now, the only decks I'm seeing it having use in, as far as I'm concerned, is my Zombie deck and my Spirit deck, because they need as many normal summons as they can get.
Also, they have another effect. It's like a grave effect. Like you can just you bash one to grave and discard another. So your opponent's activate card.
Thank you for reminding. Oh god, I forgot about that. I forgot. You can discard another copy of the spell and banish the copy in your graveyard to make your normal summons completely protected from interruption. It is so good for slower decks.
Yeah.
Like crack cocaine for Draco. Yushinju can play it. Yushinju can play it with control with no extra deck. If you had the big balls like me, Flunder will love the fuck out of that card. And my favorite normal summoning deck, what you could do is favorite normal summoning deck is this basic bitch stun So basically, you just normal summon your stun cards, and you just keep on boop, 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 boop. High border plus fossil dino.
Oh god, I could run it in Thunderstun.
Oh no.
Oh god. I could run
Uh,
it in Thunderstun. That's
so
not good.
before I forget, I'm just remembering that card that like attached to insects. I'm just imagining they did that because someone secretly still wants Weevil deck to be busted.
I'm
Like
sorry,
it's
you're
not.
breaking up a little bit, man.
I'm sorry. Hold on. Let's try. Is that better?
Much better. Go ahead and try again.
Much better.
I'm sorry about that. I'm saying like the person who made that card where it attaches to insects. I'm just imagining they did that solely for Weevil deck to have some kind of viability.
It probably will.
All I know is I'm a big insect fan, and I want that shit to happen. Go ahead, Nashi.
It's fine. Now, another thing that I'm excited about is the Legendary Collection 25th Anniversary box. It did get pushed back to April 21st, but it's going to be a re-release of the very first Legendary Collection box, and it's going to have reprints of all three of the Egyptian gods, Dark Magician, Blue Eyes, Red Eyes, and it's going to have a bunch of the Legacy packs, and that's another thing I'm happy about. They are redoing, as their 25th anniversary, redoing the original run prints of the very first 5 packs that were ever released in this game.
Oh,
Also pulled up the Magic the
boy.
Gathering anniversary box.
I was going to bring up the Magic the Gathering
That's gonna be
thing.
great.
I was going to avoid that because we went about that last month, I think. But yeah, Magic the Gathering failed epically on their anniversary packs. Yu-Gi-Oh! Has, and not that it was hard to do, but Yu-Gi-Oh! Has completely outclassed them in this one. I feel so bad for Magic players right now.
They deserve
Too bad
it.
I'm a Pokemon player.
The
They deserve
anniversary.
it. They're Magic players.
That reminds me. This isn't related to Yu-Gi-Oh. I'm kind of annoyed at the fact that they took the fairy type out of the Pokemon TCG.
We talked about that earlier, and I was so upset that you weren't here for it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's fine.
I'll be quick with it. I think it's really dumb because it takes viability away from so many Pokemon that have the fairy type because now they have to compete with other normal types or whatever their other dual type is. For example, not Mimikyu. What the fuck is the name of this Pokemon? Fucking Sylveon was really good in some fairy decks early on before they made the the VMAX cards and all that. Now it's gonna only be normal, so it's just gonna have to like suffer with other normal types. So like for example, Dragonite or Rayquaza, how they usually are really good in the normal type decks, you wouldn't bother running a Sylveon. That's all I'll say. It sucks for any kind of Pokemon that has fairy type because now it has to compete with other Pokemon for viability.
Oh, and don't forget they also are eliminating the poison type.
No,
yeah, but they did that last time. They did that in Gen 8, and I was already expecting that because poison type's never been stable to begin with. It was been grass type for like four or 5 gens. Then it becomes psychic type, and then it becomes dark type, and then now it's just it's still dark type, but like they're I don't know they're really like bipolar with that shit.
Okay, now what were you saying, Tommy?
Oh, I'm looking at this Magic thing, and I'm just sitting back there laughing at every Magic player that ever shit talk Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, tell me about it.
What I'm saying right now is I heard rumors that in July and January, no, July and June, I heard rumors that they're going to be bringing back unlimited boxes of those 6 sets. I don't know if that's true or not, but they're talking about releasing boxes like that.
I don't know about boxes. I only heard about packs.
Okay, then that's not happening then. But could you imagine if they brung out some old unlimited MRD box? Did MRD box or old LB box to do unlimited? That would crash the market. No, if they bring back old MRD, I don't care. I'll sell myself on the street just to get a box because MRD is my shit.
And the only other thing I've got to talk about is that we got a name on the next core pack, which is Duelist Nexus. We don't have an English date of release yet. It doesn't drop until April 22nd in Japan. So predictive would probably be around July.
Damn,
usually it's a 3-ish month delay.
3-ish month? That's a half a year.
Well, April to July is 3 months.
Oh, okay. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
that's 3
I'm
months.
thinking
that
from
need to
now.
be done.
No. Like I said, Japan's release is April 22nd, so we're probably going to see it about July.
July, yeah.
And that's pretty much everything I have to talk about. So, anyone else got anything they want to throw in here, or are we good to call it a night?
I
Well,
got one thing.
I got one thing.
Okay, hang on. Yosh, you go first, then Zivuth, and then Tommy.
All right. So,
I'll do mine last.
as you've all seen in the Discord, I've been playing a lot of Multiversus lately.
Yes.
This doesn't mean that I don't like Smash anymore or anything. I still love it. I still play it a hell of a lot. Multiversus is just more fun at the moment because they put in a character, I think, a little known character that now people know about, known as Bugs Bunny. And he's a fucking monster. Reason why I'm bringing this up is because I found out that they basically are like not stagnant with the game. They haven't really added anything lately. It's been mostly updates where it's just performance issues with the game. But Bugs has been nerfed like 3 times, and not once has that madman been made anything lower than top 5.
Bugs
I feel like...
is cracked right
No,
now.
go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry for interrupting. Bugs,
No, don't worry.
I seen one. Don't mean to interrupt. Sorry for going on. I seen
Don't worry about it, go ahead.
I seen one video on the evolution of Bugs, and guys like losing his shit. He cursed so much the video got taken offline. He cursed so much. It was just a random guy. I'm like, okay, let me look at Bugs Bunny. Random guy curses so much he gets banned from YouTube for saying all the slurs. Not anything offensive, but he was like, bitch, slut, blah blah blah.
He got banned for that? That's sad. On YouTube.
No, during this, he's also playing porn sounds in the background when he's doing this.
So you're telling me that because it's a Warner Brothers game, they're just going to need to add a character that they own, which is many characters, to say, okay, you just take out Bugs. You're the counter. That's
Here's
your
the
job.
thing. That's what I was bringing up. They've added 3 separate characters to do that. They've added Marvin the Martian because he's his owner. They've added Black Adam, who is rushed down and is literally as brain dead as like to the point where a monkey could play him. No offense to Black Adam players. They've added Stripe, who has a move that hits you from a whole screen away. Literally, wherever you're on the screen, he hits you.
I already know the character that beats Bugs.
These are all characters that are supposed to beat him. They're all winnable matchups. This character
you need to bring
is
in a
literally
character
God.
from a different universe that's known to
If you
make
mean
weapons
Godzilla,
into
that's not-
guns.
I feel like if they put Godzilla in, that's gonna be worse because he's
You
like
gotta
he's gonna
bring
be
in
like Iron
someone who's a
Giant.
wild card.
Okay, no.
Now
I know
Bring
what
in
they
Yang
could...
Xiaolong. That woman can't lose. She's God in any fight.
No. I can
Blaze
one
Blue's
up.
taught me anything. I trust her.
I can one up you. They buy the rights. They buy the rights to Ultra Instinct Shaggy and put it into the game.
He's already in the game. He is just regular Shaggy.
Yeah, he's already in the game. You have to
but-
remember, it has to be Warner Brothers owned, and that's a lot.
Yeah,
No.
They own the memes essentially. Big Chungus might as well be its own character because they treat him like his own character.
So they already own Ultra Instinct Shaggy?
Well, it's
say
apparently
again,
now
I'm sorry.
canon.
No, all they have to do is make Shaggy Ultra Instinct and it's all over.
He has Ultra Instinct.
He has
He
Ultra
is.
Instinct. He's in it already.
One of his moves is him activating it.
Yeah. So you basically, that's what I said. You just gotta find a character and that Warner Brothers owns, which is a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And what character actually completely can just counter anything?
You see,
win.
that's the problem. That is Bugs. He's literally God. He can do whatever he wants. Not just because of Toon Force, but because like we've seen him do so much over the years to the point where you can make anything a moveset for him. Hell, you can make him play like Mario from Smash and it would still be canon.
Yeah.
That's why we're saying we need a character that just does that, but better.
Speaking of characters,
That's
in
why it's a kind of a
Multiversus,
problem. There really isn't.
Didn't they add Rick and Morty to that cast as well, or am I misremembering things?
They did.
They did.
I've been watching
Now,
all of Looney
which
Tunes
is
because
more
of that. 'Cause,
annoying?
like,
Oh, sorry.
there's gotta be someone. Daffy Duck's the only character I can think that comes close, and only because of Duck Dodgers.
Yeah, but Daffy Duck got his
Or,
shit stomped in every time he did it in the cartoon. I I remember
Yeah.
back during the Super Bowl days where they used to make they used to do cartoons and then they used to do Super Bowl scores. Oh, Super Bowl Monday,
Yeah.
Super Bowl Sunday, Super Bowl. They had the puppy ball. They had
Oh.
they had the puppy ball, but before the puppy ball, they would
Oh,
have
God.
they would have
Actually-
they would have the cartoon Super Bowl with Bugs Bunny. Tweety Sylvester pissed me off. I was pissed all day. Because I wanted Sylvester to win.
So,
Yosh, I have a counter for bugs.
And that would be?
It's got to be Ed. He's the only man for the job.
Oh my
Ed
God. I
Ed-
would love
Ed's
to
the
Ed
counter.
Biden, but
Ed's
I
he
feel
can eat
like
bugs. He could eat
he
bugs.
could. He
If
could,
we
but
had
then again,
the-
we've
had
seen him
the-
get eaten.
If we
But
had
it's
the
Ed,
Ed
though.
boys,
Which Ed are we talking about? Ed and Eddie
Or
or
Rolf.
what?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ed or
Ed and
Rolf.
Eddie.
Okay.
Or
Ed and
Rolf,
Rolf
yeah.
could be the
Rolf
counter.
would just be them putting in Goku and compromising. Because, like, he's technically can't be put into Nick
no.
All-Stars, but he can't be put into anything in Warner Brothers.
Okay,
No,
so-
please stop. No, I don't
Oh,
want to die.
I did have one more thing to add. It was more so a question. So we've seen Nintendo make Smash, then we saw Nickelodeon make their own brand of it, and now Warner Brothers. To which I have to ask, I wonder what a Disney Smash Brothers clone would look like.
Oh my God, I would love that. You know, I would main Mickey in a heartbeat just because he's essentially just Bugs Bunny, but for Disney.
I'm sorry, but I'm maining one of the Skywalkers.
It would just be
Oh, yeah, that's right.
it
They
would
have
just be a
access to that.
SmackDown rush with all the princesses.
That'd be funny.
Exactly.
Okay, so
Mickey Mouse would definitely be like like I said, the Bugs Bunny or Pac-Man or whatever, just a character who does whatever the fuck he wants and gets away with it.
Okay, so
Oh,
Ziv-
I'm
You
maining
can't
all
get
Star
Deadpool.
Wars.
okay, so
You can't
so
win.
so Zivuth, you had something you wanted to contribute?
Yes, and I just saw that during the podcast, I basically got the news in my mail that SMITE got a new event that they have 10th anniversary, and when you play 10 games, they give you a bunch of free stuff like a permanent skin of your choice, the battle pass or 10 levels for it, and 10 free gods of your choice, and you can keep that forever.
Dude, Smite's trying to come back. I'm just sitting here. I'm like, come on, Smite, make a comeback, make it worth my day.
Yosh actually used to play
I-
Smite back in the day.
I still play it. It's just I play on PS4 instead of Switch now. The problem with that is I don't play my PS4 as much unless I'm playing Multiversus.
That's fair.
Smite
And,
means
and
Smite
the
means
other
love,
thing
man.
is, I got myself for Switch the game
Careful.
51 worldwide games, and I think it would be also fun to play with you guys.
Oh.
Just
What,
saying.
Smite?
I just want
No, go
Smite.
ahead. I'm sorry. I'm just thinking of something.
I just want Smite to get love. Like, Smite Smite reminds me of the days when that was good. I was playing Smorg and shit. Heart Zone, whatever the fuck that game is.
Either Hearthstone or League you're thinking of.
No, I'm thinking of the card. It's like MTG, but it's you do hearts and you can attack.
Yeah, it's Hearthstone.
Yeah, Hearthstone. I said Heart Zone, my bad.
I honestly think if Smite's gonna get better, it needs to do three things. One, it needs to take a break from making so many characters. It doesn't need 5 or 6 characters a year. I get it, they're trying to catch up to League, but it's really not that big a deal considering that League has 10 different archetypes and like a bunch of other characters that fall into those archetypes, where Smite, almost every character is unique except for the mages because, everything is burst mage. 2, it needs to rework a lot of the items. Like, all the items are good, but they need to rework either the items or the stats to a point where everyone isn't so bursty. Because I've noticed every character does 1 million damage despite what you build on them. Hell, Bacchus, the character I play, is a tank, and I regularly get one-shots with him because of how much damage he has, despite being a tank. Someone once said most tanks are CC with a little bit of damage. Bacchus is damage with a little bit of CC. And that could be further from the truth. So I think they just need to tweak the damage numbers. And 3, I really think with Smite, they need to... What's the word I'm looking for? They need to realize that some of those items are actually either need to just be taken out completely or, like I said, reworked. Specifically the relics. Like, for example, beats and Aegis. Either make it so you can't buy both of them together, or make it so they are worse if you buy them together. Because they are so busted to a point where I've seen tanks buy both at times, which they're literally the role meant to survive. So
Yeah.
without them. So I think it's those are three things that need to change. Less gods, item reworks, and rework Aegis and beads so they don't work as well together.
You're
thing
nailing,
is-
you're nailing
That's
everything on the coffin, dude. I watch, like, that's my guilty pleasure. I watch Goat Simulator, but my guilty pleasure is watching SMITE streams or Deer Simulator.
Or
And I'm talking
Fair.
about Deer Simulator with the head, if you got the guns on your head, yeah.
so
If you want good, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'll tell him after.
you want less quantity. You want more quality, less quantity.
Yes, essentially, I think Smite's been ballooning itself for years just to stay relevant. I really think they need to focus on keeping themselves good. What's the point in having so much content if none of it is appealing to the fact that the game is one-hit simulator?
Yeah, homie, you're 100% correct on this. Like,
I say
Smite's
this
like-
as someone who
Smite's
loves
like One
dumb
Punch Man
content.
the anime.
Yeah, I say this as someone who loves dumb content. I'm sorry for interrupting, by the way.
No,
Like,
no.
I
Smite's
watch,
like One Punch Man the anime.
I watch stuff like Yellow Shell, Brutal Maglini Time, what is it called? Boom 555. You know, the content where the people aren't really trying to win, more so just win in a dumb way, or if not just be dumb in general. Like, for example, there's a glitch they had where you play as Gilgamesh and kick them into a wall while also kicking them into a Yanis portal. They just die the minute they spawn in after they touch a wall. That's it. They spawn back in, instant death. There's not even like their damage ticking down. It just does 9999. Yeah.
So I gotta say this. It's so cracked that
Yeah, go ahead, I'm
streamers,
sorry.
when they play on, it's so bad. My bad for like, it's so cracked that I watch Smite streamers just go on a rant, and I'm just sitting here. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. I feel the same way about the game. I just don't want to stream it. For cussing every 5 seconds.
Same, but I don't. All right, here's the thing. I rarely get mad when I play video games, but that's mostly because most of the games I play I'm good at. Ask anyone if they played Smash or Multiversus against me. If anything, they're the ones raging. I think it's understandable that they're so angry because this game has so many problems, and Hi-Res isn't willing to admit it. They're more so like, hey, don't worry about it. Once we have this character, they'll counter the problem. The problem isn't with like playstyles or anything. The problem is the fact that the numbers need to be tweaked. Once those are tweaked, it doesn't matter what character you add. Just keep them in line. Like, for example, Scylla was always meant to be busted in the terms of like having high damage. Her passive is literally meant for that. But now everyone can do that. She's literally like falling out of the meta because of the fact that everyone can just do hella damage. I've seen people go in mid lane with Kepri even. He is like one of the worst gods for damage, and yet people go in mid lane with him, and it worked. So like I said, I think that's one of the things that need to be changed is the numbers. That's all. Just those three things I mentioned, and it'll be way healthier.
It's getting okay. I'm gonna say what one streamer said. This game is getting as toxic as build Fortnite, League of Legends, when your teammate gets you banned because you did nothing, and it's getting as bad as someone coming in here causing a hate raid against some race. And then as soon as he said that, he's like, mods, if ever a hate raid comes in here, I'm getting banned. I'm getting banned. And as soon as he said, he got a 1-day ban. Because he said, if someone comes in here for hate raid, I'm leaking everyone's IP and everyone's bank account. And I'm like, oh, come on, don't ban him for that. Don't. Like, if there's a hate raid, they deserve that. I don't remember the streamer.
Yeah, it's like similar to when
streamer.
Blizzard banned that dude for saying Hong Kong or whatever needs to be free. I don't remember which country it was, but they're like, it needs to be free.
Hong Kong.
And then they banned them out of, like, because, oh, we're Chinese. We have Chinese investors and stuff. We don't need that. Like, what the fuck? It's the players first. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, that was Blizzard, by the way.
That was Blizzard, by the way.
What about Blizzard?
What you just said about the banning the person. That wasn't during the Blizzard. That was during the Blizzard Overwatch tournament, I think it was.
All I know
Yeah,
China,
Blitzchung, I believe it was, if I remember correctly.
if China ever buys Twitch, if China ever buys Twitch, it'll be the first one banned. All I gotta say is, All I'm gonna say is China's president with a fucking 12-inch tire iron that's been burnt
Bruh.
to a half a degree.
Dude, we're still
My
on
bad.
Twitch.
Lol.
I'll be honest. I would be banned for if China took over, but not for that. It would be mostly because I'd just be repeating the Bing Shilling meme every time, or I'd make my sub account, my sub
Dude,
notification.
I'll
I
just
mean,
have John Cena as my meme. Who can't?
yeah,
hate that?
that's what I'm saying. Just Bing Shilling. That's all.
No. You know what if China ever took over Twitch, you know what my friend would be playing? This on repeat. He'd be playing the Trump bing bing bong bong bing bing bong bong bing bing bong bong bing bing bong bong bing
We're a
bing bong
sad group
bong.
of individuals here, everybody. We're having too much fun.
Yeah, I
We are-
think
that's-
we've I think we're pretty well at the end of the show. Does anyone else have anything they want to contribute before we call it a night?
Nah, we're
No,
we're-
not really.
No.
Oh, I'm good.
Besides, Happy New Year to all of you beautiful people.
Yes, good luck
Oh,
and
yeah.
Happy New Year.
I
I'm
have
gonna be single through this year too. I'm doing it, guys. I'm gonna become a wizard by
I'm not
Hell
beautiful. This is lies.
Is
I'm
it
fat and
just
ugly.
me, or has the months from last year, have they felt like they've been going like really fast?
Yeah,
yeah. It's just old being old.
it's because nothing's
I-
been happening. We've been borderline lockdown, if not socially distant with just about everyone, to the point where we can't do anything we normally do, and there's nothing to expect. There's nothing to slow down the time. But hopefully that will change this year.
Hopefully,
hopefully.
hopefully
well,
the same because I'm still broken. I'm going next week to see if I can start doing therapy. Hopefully, yes. But I don't know. Maybe they'll have me stay in for another 2 weeks. Hopefully not, but
Well, hopefully you
I-
get a positive. Hopefully you get a clean bill of health, man.
Come on, man. We
Yeah.
need you to be back. I'm just gonna be on that grind. I like I said, I took care of one of my goals this year for New Year's. Gonna have a couple more. Trying to be able to drive by either July or August. Be driving by my
sorry,
own
what's
car.
this about drive by?
Drive by. Oh shit! Let me get down.
And
Yeah,
I've
I'm
got
trying to-
and I've got tons of plans for this year too. I've got new videos planned for like the next 2 months.
Damn.
Damn.
Yeah,
I
I've got,
got
plans
some
lined up.
plan. I got some plans for this year too.
Cool. What do you got in mind?
Well, the first thing is that I finally start to stream with my new 3D model, hopefully.
Cool.
What
Well, I
did
hope
you
that
say?
works out for you, man. I know you've been working
I
on
hope
that for a
does work
while.
out. Hey,
Yes.
is it like a VTuber model?
Yes, it's for you can use it for VTubing, but also for VR shit at the same time.
That's
Did
actually really
you-
cool. I've been debating on getting one of those too because I
And
kind
that's
of
for
wanted to get into VR.
$200, and I saw that work from the dude, and for that cheap money, it looks way better than someone who you commission for $5K or something.
Yeah.
Huh.
But okay, I understand it was cheap, but though, have you tested your reactions, your hand tracker, or whatever? Because I understand, I know cheap work is good, but sometimes when you get a cheap worker, you can't have you might have a malfunction where your mouth might not open. Do you have
He doesn't have it yet. He said he's going to get it.
Oh, I was about to say, when you get that, make sure you can have a hand tracker and all that. Because I watch a lot of furry streamers, Whiskey Dingo mainly, and I am chaotic in his chat. All I do is every 5 minutes I say, press 4 to vor, whiskey is stinky, yada yada yada, press 3 to be stinky, spam to stinky, blah 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 blah. But like his chat loves me and hates me at the same time, and he loves and hates me. But he went out and made sure his hand tracker worked. And every time his hand tracker works, he asks chats to restart stream because the beans, like the Paul beans, and everyone's like, "Oh, no beans, we riot."
Oh dear God.
That reminds me,
This is why I love by the
uh,
furries, by the way, everybody. I
That's
just respect
why
them. They're great
Sivo-
people.
I
Yet I'm
already
not
have
one.
to make you sad, but Sivo won't have beats because he doesn't have one already, and it's in his lore, and his 3D model won't have beans.
Oh,
you
well,
said-
come on,
still, the important thing is to make sure that when you get that model, that you get it appropriately tracking.
Yeah, and
Yes.
and when you get the model, make sure it has like if you can afford it, get the hand tracking and the tracking. But like, there's a lot of streamers who don't have the iPhone set up because they just don't have the time or space. But like, I'm talking to people and they're like, "Oh, the
Well,
iPhone set up.
and
The
when
iPhone
I
set
will
is
first
so fucking
start
good."
with VR chat like others before I have the equipment together.
Oh,
Is this
also,
a podcast or?
yeah, we're just about
Yes.
done.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
We're
Wow.
about to- He came back at the rock. Man,
It's fine.
my mom just called me too. She's like, I'm at Popeyes. You want something? I'm like, yes, I do.
yes, I do.
I'm fat.
And that's a
Yes,
good
I
note to
do.
end on because I'm actually pretty
No.
hungry myself.
You know what?
Can I
I
dig?
have dinner too.
Bye, and don't
Actually, let me
forget,
speak
I
to
live
this
in your
voice real
walls.
quick.
Thanks for
Oh,
joining us
God.
for the show, everyone. It's been a lot of fun. We had some ups and
Hey,
downs.
Finn,
Hmm?
sorry.
We can't even end this goddamn fiasco, everybody.
Before we end, I just want to tell you guys about a show called The Traitors.
Okay.
So, have you heard of the hit game Among Us?
Yeah.
God damn it.
No. Wait.
I want
Hear me out. 22 people are sent to a castle. Each episode, someone gets voted off because there are two types of people in the show. There's the faithfuls and the traitors. And each night, the traitors elect who they want to kill, which basically means they have to leave the castle. Oh, and it's way better than I'm describing it because I'm not very good at describing things. Just watch it. It's on BBC iPlayer, I believe, if you're in the UK.
I will keep that in mind.
Right, now we can finish.
All right. Then once again,
Everyone, Real Life Among Us. Coming to you soon.
Amogos.
great.
Don't be
Goose
sorry.
Goose.
Gregory, do you see that small vent on the floor? Have you ever heard of Among Us, Gregory?
I'm sorry, but if
You
I
see
see a
that?
vent on the floor, I'm pulling my pants up and I'm ripping the fattest fart cloud into it.
No, I'm into that shit. Do it, buddy.
Oh,
I will be
No.
lame deck
No, we're
day.
not doing this right now. Not right here.
No.
Oh
No,
man.
if I see a
Dude,
vent,
don't test
no.
me.
If I see a vent and I see someone trying to vent, I'm chugging a gallon of water and giving them some fresh lemonade.
Oh, now you
All
crossed
right.
Why
the
can we
line.
just... Goddamn, why can we
Let's get
end
out.
it already?
Cancelled.
All right, let's end the show. It's been long enough. Thank you everybody for stopping in. Glad you guys were able to make it for the simulcast because this appears to be successful that we can now stream on YouTube and Twitch at the same time. So I'm going to keep doing that. Thank you again for showing up. This has been the first show of the year. Hopefully the next ones are better than this. I don't think I need to say
Probably
anything
not.
else about that.
No, they will. They'll be better.
And thank you
It'll be
again for
better.
stopping by. We will
More
see you at the
reading, more
next one.
edibles.
We stream it the first Friday of every month at 5 p.m. Eastern. We will see you next time.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.